Even as the controversy is raging over the renaming of the Nehru Memorial Library and Museum to the PMML, or the Prime Minister's Memorial Museum and Library, we have with us over here the Vice Chairman of the Executive Council, Mr. Surya Prakash. Thank you so much for speaking to us at Times Now. This entire area, the renaming of it has come under huge controversy. It's being called as an attempt to try and distort or divert as far as the history is concerned. How do you see this accusation coming in from Congress Party?
I wouldn't like to respond to political questions, but I will talk about what we have done here in this institution. Please come and see the Nehru Museum in Teen Murti Bhavan. That entire building is totally dedicated to Nehru. And then there is a new building which has come up here where all the other 14 Prime Ministers' galleries are located. So please come and see the Nehru Museum as we have showcased his 17 years, his temples of modern India, the Hirakud Dam, Nagarjun Sagar Dam, Planning Commission, his idea of institutes of technology, just public sector undertakings, massive work, the foundations which he laid for the development of India, which Nehruji did. Just come and see that. Anyone who's complaining, I would request them, sir, please come and see the museum, and we would certainly look forward to your views in regard to the museum after you have seen it.
Right. Also, you have said that earlier the condition that this place was in, now that it is, of course, Pandit Nehru right here, Prime Minister Modi also right here. So, you know, this criticism that is coming in that it is somehow erasing the legacy of Nehru. Do you think that this is based on facts, or these are just political positions that are being taken?
I would say there's no question of erasing the legacy of Nehru. In fact, we are so proud of those 17 years of Nehruji, the kind of work that he did. And we feel, actually we feel honored that this institution was given the responsibility of building the Prime Minister's Museum. And you can come and see what we have done or how we view Nehruji. Because we have our respect and regard for him. You can be seen in our work.
Right. If I can request you to just show us around what exactly is on display over here. If you can explain what exactly will the people who visit over here be seeing?
Yes, suppose you come here. Actually, here, this particular room showcases the freedom struggle, and then you have the integration of India, and then you have Subhash Chandra Bose and the emergence of INA.
All right. So the freedom movement is being showcased over here,
and the integration of states. How Sardar Patel brought over 560 princely states together and integrated this nation. The whole story of integration is here. So people who are interested can sit here and listen and watch these videos. Then you also have the INA and Subhash Chandra Bose.
Okay, so basically historical documentaries that are there for those who want to see it. There are also galleries that you have dedicated to all the Prime Ministers. All the Prime Ministers have been showcased over here as well?
Yes, all the Prime Ministers are showcased, but the Modi gallery is not ready yet. Okay. So work is on. Some months down the line, you will be able to see the Narendra Modi gallery.
Okay, that's interesting because, obviously the attempt or the opposition parties often are saying that this is some attempt at changing, the legacy and so on and so forth. Can you take us to what is happening over here? There are also photos, etc., selfies that can be taken with the Prime Ministers and various other features that you have also put out over here.
Time machine, this has the entire story of our nuclear energy program is there in this room. You can just come here for a second.
Okay.
And we have benches to sit and watch the entire story of India's nuclear development.
Okay, so this is interesting. But why have you chosen to showcase the nuclear program? Is it because it's being seen as
No, this museum, apart from showcasing the work of all Prime Ministers, this is a one-stop shop for you to know the story of India from 1947 till now. Okay. This is 75 years. And as we go along, the additions will be made, and this is a one-stop shop in that sense. For example, here,
And there are all the prime ministers have been mentioned over here. They can choose any prime minister that they want to.
You can choose any prime minister, and then you can have a walk with the prime minister. You want to do that?
Okay, can you show us how we do that?
Go there.
Okay.
So which prime minister would you choose to walk?
Let's start with Prime Minister Nehru, and then we can
Nehru,
take.
okay.
Yeah.
So you can come here.
Okay.
Please remember that you start here.
Okay.
And then do a namaste when the prime minister greets you.
Okay.
Do a namaste to him.
Okay.
With your
With the mic.
Mic.
Okay.
And then come to that point and repeat the namaste, and he will respond to that.
Okay.
And then the show is over.
Okay. Let's.
You will get this on your email.
Okay. Great. That's interesting. So let's see if this can be done. If we can. Yeah. We are ready. So this is a walk with the Prime Minister. We have chosen Prime Minister Nehru, but this can be done with all the Prime Ministers, as can be seen over here. One of the very interesting features, these features have been brought in primarily, are they very popular? Can you take us through exactly what?
Mail ID.
Yeah, okay, I'll give you my mail ID as well. But I'll just tell Mr. I want to ask, why have these features, the selfie and this been brought in over here? What was the idea? To engage students, maybe youngsters?
You know, we have all gone to museums in our childhood. So our concept of a museum, there are some artifacts here, there, don't touch, stay away, this, that and the other. We wanted to make it immersive experience, an interactive experience, so that everyone, in fact, though some of this is a major attraction with youth, it's a very big attraction with senior citizens also. Everybody loves this. And so I will show you in some galleries. It's just a touch button and you can view things, you know, different aspects of a prime minister's life. For example, Lal Bahadur Shastri, his early days, early life, and then his joining Congress party, freedom movement, then becoming railway minister, becoming the prime minister.
Let's go there, in fact. We can have a look at that. So we are at the Lal Bahadur Shastri Gallery. Tell us, why is this one of the more important galleries? You're mentioning several historical aspects also that have been covered.
Yes, because you see, Lal Bahadur Shastri was our prime minister for just 19 months. But those 19 months were very historic in very many ways. Of course, we had the 1965 war coming in and its consequences, then the Tashkent Agreement, and tragically Shastri ji died in Tashkent after signing the agreement.
Right.
But before that, look at this.
The Green Revolution. Okay.
The Green Revolution and the White Revolution. You see, because of the food crisis, he took the first steps for the Green Revolution in the country, which, as you can see, later led to India becoming completely self-sufficient.
Yes.
You know, and we have both Anil Shastri and Sunil Shastri. We have their videos. Very interesting stories. How Lal Bahadur Shastri used to play badminton, you know, in his house. They had a court there. This is the racket. The family has donated certain things to her. Many important letters which Shastri ji exchanged with people and so on. And this is the White Revolution. Then what Shastri had to say in regard to China's nuclear policy and how that's going to affect India. So that thinking was already there in him in 1965. This is a charka. His in-laws asked him as to what they can give him at the wedding. And he said, "You please give me your charka."
That's very interesting.
Here we showcase the Battle of Asal Uttar, which is an extraordinary story. So the Pakistani tanks, Patton tanks, were all lined up. They were about to come into India, and our generals took a very important decision. They flooded the sugarcane fields. Okay, and next morning, it became the graveyard of Patton tanks. This is known as the Battle of Asal Uttar, and it's an extraordinary military operation and success story. This is the Indira Gandhi gallery, her political life, and here you have nationalization of banks there.
The Nathula battle as well.
Then what happened after split in the Congress, then Pokhran, abolition of privy purses. See, everything that has happened, all the major landmarks, events in a Prime Minister's tenure is recorded here. Okay. And there is no holding back on anything. And here we come to, this is the emergency gallery, where when she imposed the emergency, you see all the political leaders were arrested. Here you can listen to the Prime Minister's address to the nation on radio. This showcases all the leaders who were arrested.
Okay. And you've also recorded the comeback of Indira Gandhi. It's not just the emergency, but also coming back has also been recorded.
All of it, and very major events which happened at that time. Terrorism,
Punjab militancy also covered.
Punjab problem.
Okay.
And this is a video. It has been done in a very touching way on the assassination of Indira Gandhi, as to what happened that day.
So would you say that, with these galleries such as Indira Gandhi and Mr. Shastri, that Congress, it's not like Congress's Prime Ministers and their contribution in any way has been either depicted in a different way, or that they've been given a rightful place, you would say?
More than that, because if you take the Pradhanmantri Sangrahalaya today, there are 14 galleries. Out of those 14 galleries, there are 14 Prime Ministers showcased here. 13 are either Congress Prime Ministers or Prime Ministers who began their political journey in the Congress, like Charan Singh, H.D. Devegowda, V.P. Singh, Chandrasekhar. When they became Prime Ministers, they were Janata Dal or whatever. But their origins are all in Congress. So 13 out of 14. There is only one Prime Minister whose gallery is here who had nothing to do with the Congress. That is Atal Bihari Vajpayee. So is this, what is this Sangrahalaya? Actually, this Sangrahalaya showcases the work of all our Prime Ministers. 13 out of those 14 were either Congress Prime Ministers or Prime Ministers whose political journey began with the Congress. And they have done great work, whether their tenures were small or big, and we are very happy to showcase all of that.
Was there really a need to rename it? Could it not have continued as the Nehru Memorial Museum, and with, of course, the Prime Minister's Museum under its remit? How do you see that?
What I'd like to say is the diversification and democratization of the remit of this institution. When you take that into account, then I will say the new name is in consonance with the new responsibilities that have been given to this institution. The remit of Nehru Memorial has now become Prime Minister's Museum and Library. That is, I think, a very significant thing as to why there is a need to change the name. Because we have now a museum of all Prime Ministers, and there is place where in future the Prime Ministers to come, you are going to showcase all of them here. And there is no institution like this. We are 75 years old after independence. We don't have an institution showcasing the work of all our Prime Ministers.
Okay.
So this diversity in our national leadership is something which I feel we ought to acknowledge as a nation. It's very important. Whether Devegowda ji, who was there for 10-11 months, or Nehru ji was there for 17 years, all of them have done what they could for this country, and it's very important to showcase the work of all our Prime Ministers and all the effort they have put in. That is why we are where we are today. If you look back over 75 years, it's been an arduous journey. And it's important, this museum, as you learn about the Prime Ministers, you also learn about the journey of India over 75 years. So, the diversity in our national leadership, that has to be showcased. And that is all that I would like to say.
Okay, thank you.